Good morning, folks. This is Mr. Dan coming to you from the Landscape Design Classroom, and today we're going to talk about defining and understanding soil resources. So, what are we talking about here? What is soil? How did it form? And what does it do that is important to human life on Earth? So, defining soil, this is the most accurate definition of soil. Should cover both what it is and what it does. A soil scientist defines soil based on what it is. It's organized natural body similar to different types of ecosystems. And a plant scientist or agronomist defines soil in terms of what it does. The unconsolidated upper part of the Earth's crust capable of supporting terrestrial plant life. So, soil is a pretty complex mixture that contains minerals, which are inorganic compounds in the Earth's crust, organic matter of plant or animal origin. When dead plants and animals decompose, they become humus, a gelatin-like substance that binds soil particles together. Decomposer microorganisms that break down organic matter and convert nutrients into forms plants can use. Air and water, about half of the soil mixture on a volume basis. So even though it doesn't look like it, you can actually get air and water down into your soil. So you'll typically see water whenever a soil turns more into mud, but air is definitely always going through that soil unless it's totally solidified and compacted. Whenever we talk about compacted soil, we usually compare that to grass types or grass not being able to grow because the soil is too compact, but we'll get back into that stuff a little bit later. So soil ideal for plant growth will contain about 45% minerals, 25% air, 25% water, and 5% organic material. Now let's talk about how it's formed. So the soils found on Earth were formed over long periods. In practical terms, lost topsoil is impossible to replace. So when you see all these neighborhoods that are currently being built, they strip that topsoil layer off the top and move it elsewhere. And then eventually they have to bring it back in or bring in new topsoil to replace what was there to get proper grass growth. Soil formation takes place through weathering, decomposition of minerals and organic matter by rain, heat, cold, freezing, thawing, glaciers, and landslides. So some factors influencing soil formation, type of original or parent material, such as limestone, glacial deposits, or from alluvial deposits. Climate, including average temperatures and rainfall. Organisms that live on and in the land, including plants, humans, and animals. Topography of the land, whether it is steep or flat. And length of time that a parent material has been weathered. So weathering is a powerful force. It breaks up huge rocks and grinds them down into a rich soil mixture. It starts when water collects in tiny cracks found on a rock. Freezing water expands, enlarging the cracks. Freezing and thawing breaks rocks apart over time. So you have, whenever you're looking at weathering, weathering is a huge factor because it helps put more stuff into your soil, and that could be anything from organic material to breaking down rocks in general. So plants begin to play a role in weathering. Small cracks in rocks begin to collect soil and seeds. Once the seeds start to grow, the roots of the plant further break down the rocks. The seed itself may push and break the rocks, and a tree may grow in the crack, breaking the rocks and making a place for more plants to grow. So if we take a look at the picture here on the right, we can see some different trees and plant life growing up out of these rocks. So don't think the plants can't grow outside of a normal soil environment. We can get plants to pretty much grow anywhere, especially whenever you're on rock formations and you see succulents coming out from those. So the purpose and functions of soil is to provide a place for plants to grow. Some functions of soil here: an anchor for plant roots, supplies water to plants, provides air for plant roots to breathe, and furnishes nutrients. So looking at this picture down here on the right, you'll notice that it's a brand new plant just in a basic clay pot, but that's typically a really airy mixture. And you can see some perlite in there, some different growing medium, probably some soil, maybe in some Pro-BM mix. So one more on soil. Used for road beds, an aggregate for concrete and asphalt, a foundation for structures in bodies of water and in landfills. Vital to human life, all terrestrial life, including wildlife, prairies, and forests, depends on soil and the products of the soil. So acts as a filtration system for Earth's hydrologic cycle, making marine life possible. So the bottom line here, soil is a key factor in what makes life on Earth possible. So whenever we take a look at soil, we use it for a lot of different stuff, not just growing grass, but we also grow different types of plants. We grow crops. It also helps with nourishing animals through those plants and crops. So the possibilities are pretty endless, and we also make extremely nice landscape designs and install those designs directly into our soil. So that's the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, please give me a call down here in the landscape design classroom, and we will be continuing on into a little bit more soil stuff. So I appreciate your time, folks. Have a great day.